ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां
वन्दे
वन्दे
गुरुपरम्पराम्
गुरुपरम्पराम्।
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ
सहनौ
भुनक्तु
भुनक्तु
सह
सह
वीर्यं
वीर्यं
करवावहै
करवावहै
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु
विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति
शान्तिः
शान्तिः हरि
शान्तिः।
ओम.
हरि ओम।
ॐ तत्
So continuing the Prakarana Grantha VakyaVritti, we are on the 31st sloka, so we will chant. Sarvagyatvam Pareshatvam
सर्वज्ञत्वं परेशत्वं
Tatha Sampurna Shaktita
तथा
तथा
सम्पूर्णशक्तिता
सम्पूर्णशक्तिता
Vedai Samarthyate Yasya
वेदैः
वेदैः समर्थ्यते
समर्थ्यते
यस्य
यस्य
Tadbrahmetyavadharaya.
तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवतारः।
तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारय।
So we are continuing the Nidhi Dhyasanam. Note that a lot of the ideas we have already covered are being recovered here because literally recover. You have to recover all the ideas from your memory and think about them. So here we are discussing the idea of Karanam. Now, when we talk about Karanam, there are usually two types of Karanam. What are they?
निमित्त उपादानम्
उपादानकारणम्।
Nimitta Karanam, Upadana Karanam. Right? Now, usually the Nimitta Karanam and the Upadana Karanam are different. The Nimitta is the intelligent cause and the Upadanam is the material cause. So, in the manufacture of a table, for example, the Nimitta Karanam is the carpenter, Upadana Karanam is the wood. But Shastra gives the example of Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. The non-different, intelligent and the material cause. Combined intelligent material cause. We talked about the spider in that case, right? And here talking about that particular Karanam only, Shastra presents Brahman as the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana of the universe. And this verse discusses the Tathastha Lakshanam. Tathastha is what? That which is available at some times, but not all the time. That what is not the essential. So here Brahman is Tathastha Karanam and Brahman is also Upadana Karanam later. Right? So both are there. Brahman is Tathastha as well as Upadana. What is Nimitta Karanam? Nimitta Karanam is the person or the Karanam or the cause which has the necessary knowledge and skill and power to do something. So what is being said here? Sarvagyatvam. That complete knowledge is there with Brahman. And therefore Brahman is the Sarvagyaha, the all-knowing Nimitta Karanam of the Jagat. Whenever you say Sarvagyatva, whenever you say all-knowing, knowledge means instrumental cause. Right? Not the Upadana Karanam. It is the instrumental, the Nimitta Karanam. And the word Sarvagnya here used very consciously by the author to refer to which mantra, in which Upanishad, in which mantra.
मुंडक
Mundaka. Yaha
सर्ववित्
Sarvagnya.
सर्वज्ञ
Yes. Yaha Sarvagnya
सर्ववित्
Sarvavit. Yasya Jnanamayam Tapaha. Right? That is Mundaka 119. So it's a very, very conscious usage of the word Sarvagnya. That Brahman is the all-knowing, omniscient cause. And Pareshatvam. Pareshatvam is having the Shakti, the necessary power. So this is a Upanishad which we have not done, but which we will do, providing we are all alive as in due course. So it's called the Shweta Ashvatara Upanishad. Ashvatara Upanishad. There is a mantra number 8 in chapter number 6, which says Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. His Maya Shakti is known as Parashakti. It's from that Parashakti that here Pareshatvam, the word is derived. That superior power, that ultimate power, which manifests in many ways. And Tatha Sampurna Shaktita. Complete Shakti is there to create the universe and all its objects. And how is this Maya Shakti, this Sampurna Shakti known? Vedaihi Samarthyate. This is possible only through the Veda. Unless you are a student of Shruti, you will not know about the existence of this Maya Shakti. And Yasya Tad Brahma iti avadharaya. May you know this Brahman, which is omniscient and omnipotent, which has the knowledge as well as the Shakti to create the universe, as Tad Brahma iti avadharaya. May you know that power as Brahman. And this is what, when we talk about Brahman, as remember, the word Brahman is being used as the creator over here. So, you are indicating Brahman by referring to the universe, right? Tatastha Lakshanam it is, because you are indicating something by referring to something else. I hope everybody is familiar with what is Tatastha Lakshanam. Anybody doesn't know, please ask. Everybody is familiar? Okay.
I don't know, Acharya-ji.
Okay, I can't make out who said that. Who said that? June.
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 Okay, June. How dare you?
I think I forgot.
He's taking a joke.
Okay, supposing I came to Japan, supposing it's a big supposing I came to Japan, and supposing you are living in a, nice in a colony which has 20 bungalows, 20 houses, right? All the houses look exactly the same. And so when I walk into the colony, I ring you up and say, hey, June, there are 20 houses over here. Which is your house?
बोलेगा जिस पे झंडा लगा है.
And then you say, Ravi sir, that house which has got a blue car in front of it, that is my house. So that blue car indicates, it's a temporary indicator of your house. Because tomorrow morning when I come, that blue car may not be there. So indication which is temporary of something else is called a Tatastha Lakshana. How does it apply here? When you refer to the universe and then indicate Brahman through the universe, is the universe there all the time? June?
No.
And therefore, it's a temporary indication, right? Because when Pralayam comes, the universe is not there, but Brahman is still there. So you can indicate Brahman only by using an existing universe, which is not a permanent feature of Brahman. That is called Tatastha Lakshanam. Tataha literally means the banks of a river, right? So the water which flows to the bank is not the same all the time. The water which flows at moment number 1 is different from the water which flows at moment number 2. So that is the idea. When you say Tatastha, it means that it's an indication which is not intrinsic, right? It's an indication which can be there, cannot be there.
So can we take it that way that Tatastha, if we break the word, Tate Tisthati iti Tatastha. Is it the
Tate Tisthati iti. That which is
okay
remaining is the Tataha.
So that means it is a temporary location which is being referred to when you say the blue car. So it may not be there tomorrow when you visit next time.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you.
June, we are clear now?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
So please impress it in your memory. Okay.
I will do.
Okay. Fine. So this is Tatastha Lakshanam. You are indicating Brahman by referring to Jagat because Jagat is not there every time. So what is the logic? Every karyam must necessarily have a karanam, and therefore, if you are talking about Jagat, the karanam must be there. Okay, this is the 31st verse, and we will now look at the verse number 32. Yajnanat sarva vijnanam
यज्ञानात् सर्वविज्ञानम्
सर्वविज्ञानम्
श्रुतिषु प्रतिपादितम्
श्रुतिषु
श्रुतिषु
प्रतिपादितम्
प्रतिपादितम्
वृद्धाद्य अनेकदृष्टान्तैः
वृद्धानेकदृष्टान्तैः
दृष्टान्तैः
तद्ब्रह्म इत्यवधारय.
तद्ब्रह्मेत्युदधारय.
तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारय.
Okay. Now, Brahman is revealed as Upadana Karanam of the Jagat. So when we analyze, we should know that Upadana Karanam and the Karyam are not different, right? Though we say that there is a cause and a product, actually speaking, wherever we talk about Upadana Karanam, the material cause, the product is the same as the material cause. The gold chain is not different from the gold. The difference is only the name and the form. So if you say that this is a gold chain, but it is not different from the gold, which is the essence, which is the karanam, you have to apply the same logic and say this is the jagat and Brahman is the cause of the jagat, and therefore there is no difference between Brahman and jagat. Right? The raw material for jagat is nothing but Brahman. The only difference is there is a name and form now talked about of Brahman, which you are calling Jagat. Just as it is a name and form of the gold, which you call chain or ring or necklace. So, we should note here that we are talking about Brahman as Upadanakara. Okay, I'll just mute. I will ask everybody to please be very careful and unmute only when they want to talk, because otherwise what will happen is the recordings will get disturbed. Okay, we were saying that we are talking about Brahman as Upadana Karanam here. If you look at other religions, other darshanas, including the Indian darshanas, they all talk about Bhagwan or Ishvara as a Nimitta Karanam. But they do not talk about the raw material or the source of the raw material. Right? The Nyaya philosopher will, for example, say that Paramanu, atom, is the basic building block. The Yoga philosopher will say that Prakriti is the basic building block. Many Abrahamic religions are there. We don't talk about the material cause at all. And if you ask them, they will say that God created the universe. And you say, out of what? They'll say it's not necessary that he has raw material because God is all powerful. Right? So these are the various, views that come about of creation. But we say that this universe, this creation, is nothing but Brahman with name and form. And therefore, universe is the material of the universe. Upadana Karanam of the universe is basically Brahman only. And this is the story, Once upon a time, Vinayaka and Subramanya. Vinayaka and Subramanya were both sons of whom?
Shiva.
Shiva and Parvati.
Shiva and Parvati. They were the two sons, right? So one day, there was a competition. Parvati told Vinayaka and Subramanya that we need to know who is the fastest. So you go around the universe and come back. What did Subramanya do? He sat on his peacock and pushed off. What did Vinayaka do? He just ambled around Shiva and Parvati. And he was the fastest. What is the idea conveyed?
Patience gives The information about the whole.
No, come again.
The essence, if we know the essence, that gives the information to the, the broader thing. I mean, whatever is made of that.
Okay, in other words, the universe is not different from the cause. And the cause is Shiva and Parvati, or Lord Shiva himself, and Parvati. In fact, Parvati is the Upadana Karanam, right? Parvati is Prakriti. Therefore, the entire universe is nothing but Parvati. And therefore, the idea conveyed is that the universe is nothing but Parvati. That is why Vinayaka won when he went around Parvati. Because going around Parvati is the same as going around the whole universe. Okay, so that's the idea conveyed. Karana Prapancha is identical to Karya Prapancha. And Yad Jnanat Sarva Vijnanam. Therefore, Yad Jnanat. Yat refers to what? Karana Brahman. Karanam Brahman. Yad Jnanat. Karana Brahma Jnanat. By knowing Karana Brahman, Sarva Vijnanam. It is as good as knowing the entire Karya Jagat. Entire product, it is known. And therefore, Vedanta, it is Vedanta alone, only Vedanta, which says that don't talk about Nimitta and Upadana Karanam. Both are the same. Don't talk about instrumental cause as different from the material cause in case of the universe. And it gives two examples. Both examples we have seen over various Upanishads. What are they?
One is spider.
Spider and the web.
Spider and web is one example. And
The clay and pot.
the
Clay and pot.
no, clay and pot is the same as spider.
No, the
No.
Prithvi from where so many Aushadha, so different plants come from. Can we say that?
We are talking about Nimitta and Upadana Karanam being the same. Spider and web is a correct example.
Yes.
What is the
that
other
is a-
one? We have discussed it hundreds of times.
Electricity,
No, it is Swapna Prapancha.
sunlight.
Swapna Prapancha.
Dream.
When you dream,
Mm.
you are the Karanam and you are the Karyam.
Yes.
Okay, so don't forget,
Mm.
Vedanta gives two examples, both of which are crystal clear.
Mm.
And therefore he says, Shrutishu Pratipaditam. This has been pointed out in all Shruti. And we have to remember, Yatha ekena mritpindena sarvam vijñātam bhavati vācārambhanam vikaro namadheyam mrittikya ityeva satyam. Where did we see?
Chandogya.
Chandogya.
Chandogya, 6th chapter. Therefore he says, Mrid adi aneka drishtantaihi. Through many examples like Mrid, clay. So that is referred to here. Mrit pindena sarvam vijñātam. By knowing clay, you will know all the products of clay. And similarly, there are many examples. Gold is there, iron is there. In fact, clay, gold, and iron. These are three examples used in Chandogya 6th chapter. Okay, so that's what he mentions by saying Mrid Adi Aneka Drishtantaihi. There are three examples like clay, gold, and iron, which have been mentioned in the Chandogya 6th chapter. And then Tad Brahma, that material cause of the universe, is Brahman. Iti avadharaya. You should assimilate thoroughly. Okay. Any questions so far? These are all known things. We are only doing Nididhyasana. Okay. Verse number 33.
Om
Yada-
sir.
Yes.
So-
Yes,
yeah.
go on.
Sorry to interrupt. The dream example, the waker is the one who produces the dream.
Correct.
So how do we say that it is Nimitta Upadana Karanam? I
The
didn't get that.
Waker Jiva is different from the dreamer Jiva?
No.
Then,
Okay. Yes. Okay, sir.
okay. Verse 33. Yada ananatyahtvam pratignyaya
Yada
Yeah,
nananyam
Anantat-
pratidanyaya
yada nanatyam pratignaya
यदानन्त्यं प्रतिज्ञाय
श्रुतिस्तत्सिद्धये जगौ
तत्सिद्धये जगौ
तत्कार्यत्वं प्रपञ्चस्य
तत्कार्यत्वं प्रपञ्चस्य
तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारय
तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारय.
So, this idea that Brahman is the Upadana Karanam was also conveyed in Taittiriya Upanishad. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Right? Now, when we hear the word Anantam, we can have a doubt. Anantam means what? With no end, infinite. Right? Anantam, which has no end. It is infinite. But we always talk about Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. Three factors. When there are three factors, how can Ishvara be infinite? Because Jiva and Jagat are two other factors. And whenever there is more than one factor, the other factors always act as the limiting boundary for any factor. Is it not? So this is the doubt. What is the logic? Whenever there is more than one thing present, every other thing which is present gives the attribute of Vastu Parichinnatvam. Indicates that one entity is limited by another entity. So any plurality, any multiplicity indicates limitations of all the factors there. And whenever we talk about limitations, there is Desha Parichinnatvam, Kala Parichinnatvam, and Vastu Parichinnatvam. Limitation of space, limitation of time, and limitation of Vastu. So, what is limitation of space? I need to know that you have understood these three terms. Desha Parichinnatvam, Kala Parichinnatvam, Vastu Parichinnatvam. Space limitation, time limitation, and object limitation. Vastu Parichinnatvam. Can anybody give examples of each of these so that we all know we are on the same page? Guys? Somebody? No?
So the example of space would be, Acharyaji, what appears like, let's say this room has boundaries. After this boundary, this room does not exist. So this is the limitation of space. When it comes to the time, it appears the episodes, the difference between now and tomorrow.
Okay. Past, present, and future is there. That's time limitation. Something which existed in the past, it doesn't exist today. For example, my great grandfather is not alive today. That is Kala Parichinnatva.
Yes, and Vastu Parichinnatvam would be a bag is not a pillow, and basically
Bag,
a
not
bag
pillow.
is a bag. Yeah.
Right. I hope everybody is clear. Anybody doesn't understand, please tell now.
Clear, Acharyaji.
Okay, because this clarity you should have. Now, when we talk about, let us say, good and evil, right? Is the good inside Ishvara, or not, forget about the good, is the evil inside Ishvara or outside Ishvara?
Inside?
Right?
It is in our thought only.
No, you are saying Ishvara is everything. So if there is evil in the world, the evil has to be also talked about. So is that evil inside Ishvara or outside Ishvara?
Inside Ishvara.
Okay, fair enough. Why can't you say that the evil is outside Ishvara?
Then Ishvara won't be everything.
then
Then
Ishvara won't be
Ishvara
infinite. That's a logical argument. If it is outside Ishvara, then that evil is a limitation for Ishvara, therefore he is not infinite. So you have to say evil is inside Ishvara. Now, if the evil is inside Ishvara, then is Ishvara good or evil?
Ishvara is not even good, not even evil.
Why?
Because Ishvara doesn't have free will.
No, no attributes.
No,
A better answer. I want a better answer.
Ishvara is just as in Gita, I'm everything, but I'm not like different from that.
Okay, let me what I call give an example. You are basically a nice man, right? You are a family man, look after your parents, your children, your wife and kids. Now you enter a dream where you become, let us say, a monster. You are killing people right and left. You are murdering people. Right. Now that evil in your dream, does it make you the waker good or bad?
Good and evil are both mithya.
No, I want a better answer.
No, it doesn't make any difference to the waker.
It doesn't make.
Why?
Avastha is different.
Both of them exist in different orders of reality.
Different
orders
orders
of
of
Yes.
reality. Okay.
Pratibhasika.
So Pratibhasika Satyam cannot affect the Vyavaharika Satyam. Now this good and evil inside Ishvara, is it Pratibhasika Satyam or Vyavaharika Satyam or Paramarthika Satyam?
Vyavaharika Satyam.
Therefore, should that good or evil affect the Paramarthika Ishvara?
No.
That's the answer. And it is only Vedanta which can give you this answer, saying that good and evil both belong to the Vyavaharika Satyam, the lower order
Vyavaharika
of reality. Therefore, Ishvara at the Paramarthika level is not touched. Right? Therefore, he says, Yat Anantyam Pratignyaya. Pratignyaya is the statement of what? Anantyam. That Brahman is infinite, you have said. And there he says Taitriya. Taitriya Upanishad. Right? Where is that? What is that? What is that Taitriya Upanishad statement? Brahmananda Valli is there. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam means pure existence. Jnanam means pure consciousness. And the third word is what? Anantam. And he says Shruti Jagau. Shruti discusses this further. For what purpose? Tat Siddhai. This tat has to be connected to the word Anantyam. So Shruti discusses further for the purpose of indicating that Brahman is limitless, is infinite. And tat karyatvam prapanchasya. By saying that the prapancha, which is the karyam of tat, Brahma karyam, you are saying that this universe, this prapancha, should not be counted separately. Right? You cannot say Ishvara is one and prapancha is another. Just like literally speaking, you should not count the necklace on your neck as one and the gold in the necklace as two. You cannot say there are two things on my neck. You cannot say I have necklace and the gold. So the idea is that a product cannot be counted separately from the upadana karana. Okay. So what is the assumption here? That prapancha is karyam of Brahman. What is the Taittiriya mantra which talks about this? You have to recall. Tasmadva etasmat atmana akasha sambhabhuta akashad vayuhu vayoragnihi agnerapah. All this. So when you say tasmadva etasmat atmanaha akasha sambhuta, from that atma, from that Brahman, space was born. And we know the sequence also. Akashad Vayuhu, Vayoragnihi, Agnirapah. all that is there. And therefore, since these things are born from Brahman, they are obviously a karyam, and Brahman is the karanam. All clear so far? Remember that it is a Nididhyasanam text, and therefore to get the real benefit of this, you should be having maybe at least, if not in memory, at least you should know that there was a similar mantra somewhere which talked about this, and then you can actually look for the mantra. So here when I say Taittiriya has it, you should be aware that yes, such a mantra was there. You may not remember the exact words, but you should be able to go back and then get the mantra and then think about it. So that is the way to do Nididhyasanam. You take one verse, meditate on it, write down where all you have read about similar things, and then what do? You go back to that. Or in today's world, you have an easier option. You say that you go to ChatGPT and you ask. What will you ask? In which all part of Veda is a similar idea there? And then you'll at least get some 5 or 10 answers. And then you don't, take ChatGPT as final. Go back to the individual mantras and see that they're there or not. Nididhyasanam using ChatGPT. Okay. Never let it be said that I am not a modern acharya. Okay. Verse number 34. We will chant. Vijignasyataya yaccha Vijignasyataya yaccha
Vijignyasastaya yacha
Vedanteshu mumukshubhihi
Vedanteshu mumukshubhihi
Samarthyete yatnena
Samarthyatyenena
Samarthyete atiyatnena Samarthyete
Samarthyetyenena
Tadbrahmetyavadharaya.
Brahmetyavadharaya.
So the second line when broken up is samarthyete ati yatanena. Okay. Now the idea is, what is the prayojanam of Brahmagyanam? Right? So the idea is that Brahman is not some object which I know, but I am the Brahman, the observer. So I am Sarvagataha, I am Shuddhaha, I am Nityaha. All these ideas have to settle in my mind. And once these ideas have settled, been completely digested, then you will find that the situations will not change. All the situations which you face will continue to be there, but your reaction to the situations, they will be different. All struggles will disappear or become minimized. So he says, Yat vijignasya taya samarthyate. So vijignasya is something which should be known. So yat vijignasya, that Brahman which should be known, taya samarthyate, once that is known. Now this word vijignasya, it has appeared in Taittiriya Upanishad. That is why the word is used over here. Anybody remembers? Tad vijignasasva.
Yes.
What is after that? Tad vijignasasva. Yatho va imani bhutani jayante ena jatani jivanti, etc. Right? It refers to that Brahman from whom imani bhutani jayante. The entire universe is born. Ena jatani jivanti. The entire universe is sustained, and into which the universe is dissolved afterwards. So Vedanteshu mumukshubhihi. All the mumukshus, all the Vedantins who have discovered that the universe and its material objects are not sufficient to make me feel purnaha. And therefore, what do? Ati yatnena. They put in a huge amount of effort. For what purpose? To study the Shastram. So, ati yatnena is an indication that even Shastram knows that Shravanam is not going to be over in few months or a few first 2-3 years. Normally, once you have done Shravanam for 5 to 7 years, you begin to understand the value of Shastra, right? To even begin to understand the value that Shravanam gives you, you have to be disciplined enough to stick to Shravanam for a few years. Once you understand the value, then only will you start doing serious Shravanam, regularly doing Shravanam. So if you are a person who is not regularly doing Shravanam in free time, at least say 1-2 hours a day, then you need to understand that you have not yet assimilated the value of that Shravanam. The value of Shastram, you have not really understood. And once you do that, then only Tad Brahma iti avadharaya. That Paramatma is Brahman, you should assimilate. Okay. Verse number 35. जीवात्मना प्रवेशश्च
जीवात्मना प्रवेशश्च
नियन्त्रत्वं च तान् प्रति
नियन्तत्वं च तां प्रति
श्रूयते यस्य वेदेषु
श्रूयते
श्रूयते
यस्य
यस्य
वेदेषु
वेदेषु
तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारय
तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारय
So praveshascha, what does that word, what should that word remind you of?
अनुप्रवेश
Anupravesha
Pravesha
Shruti.
Vakyam.
Anupravesha Vakyam, Anupravesha Shruti. Where all have we seen it? How many Upanishads have we seen it so far?
Taittiriya and Brihadaranyaka. Chandogya.
Chaitya,
Brihadaranyaka.
Vradaranyaka. So 3 Upanishads we have seen. Taittiriya, Chandogya and Vradaranyaka we have completed the Anupravesha Vakyam, right? So we have seen it already. So where did we see Taittiriya? Tat Srishtva Tadevanu Pravishat. That was there in Taittiriya 2nd chapter. It was there in Chandogya 6th chapter. Anena Jivena Atmana Anupravisha. And it was there in Brihadaranyaka in the 4th section of the 1st chapter. Anupravishtaha Anagagebhyaha. Right? So this we have seen. And the fact that various Upanishads repeat that idea shows how important it is. So Jivatmana Praveshascha. After creating the universe, Paramatma entered the universe. For what? Jivatmana. To play the role of Jivatma. And how do we, what is the typical Shruti example for this? You create the dream world, you enter the dream world as a dreamer. Right? And you say, I was chased by the tiger. You, the creator of the dream world, from the angle of the waker, became a creature of the dream world, the dream jiva. You also became the dream tiger, and the dream tiger chased the dream jiva, and then you say that I am being chased by the tiger. So to become the creature of the dream world, what do you have to do as a waker? You have to identify with the dream body. Who created the dream body? I created the dream body. Therefore, I am the creator. Who is the dream body? I myself. I am the created. I am both the creator and the created. From the point of view of the waker, I am the creator. From the point of view of the dreamer, I am the created body. From one point of view, from the higher point of view, Vyavaharika Satyam point of view, I am the Swapna Karanam. From the Pratibhasika point of view, I am the Swapna Karyam. including the Jiva and the tiger. Similarly, the idea is here that Paramatma, who is Paramarthik Satyam, entered the Vyashti Upadhi and it is now called Jivatma in the Vyavaharika Satyam. There is no difference. It is the same Paramatma. So, Niyantratvam Cha. And the very same Paramatma, with the help of Maya Upadhi, becomes the controller, Niyantratvam, the creator. So, Nirguna Brahman, in association with Maya, becomes the Antaryami of the whole universe. This Antaryami is what you call Ishvara. So Ishvara we define as what? Brahman plus Maya. Right? So if you want to break it up, Nirguna Brahman plus Karana Maya. The causal Maya, unmanifest Maya plus Nirguna Brahman. Here he refers to it as Niyantratvam, the controller. And where do we hear this? Yasya Shruyate Vedeshu. This is talked about in the Veda. And Tan Prati, towards both these, both of which Nirguna Brahman and the Maya, that is to say, towards this both these components, which is Antaryami, Tad Brahma iti avadharaya. Meditate and understand that this is Brahman alone. Okay. Any questions? All knowledge which we know, but all being brought to the forefront just so that we can do some nididhyasana. Verse number 36. Karmanam phaladhatratvam
कर्मणां
Karmanam
फलदातृत्वं
phaladatatvam
yasyaiva shruyate shrutau
Yasyaiva
yasyaiva
shruyate
shruyate
shrutau
shrutau
jivanam hetukartritvam
Jivanam
jivanam
hetukartritvam
hetukartritvam
tadbrahmyete avadharaya.
Tadbrahmeti
tadbrahmeta
avadharaya.
avadharaya.
So he uses the word phaladhatritvam. So this Paramatma is not just the creator, but also the one who gives the phalam, the karma phaladata. So every karma that we do has two components. What are they?
Drishta, drishta.
Drishta, drishta. There is a drishta phalam which is based on the karma itself, and there is a adrishta phalam which we call punyam and papam, which is based on the intention of doing the karma. Since the intention is involved, we should understand that it is only a deliberate thought which is manasika karma. Right? And therefore, any meditation can produce punya papam, since that we know. Right? If you meditate, you get punyam or punyam, which is already known through Shastra. From there, from that statement which Shastra makes, that Ishvara Dhyanam produces punyam, you can understand that the corollary is what? Any deliberate thought produces punyam or papam, depending upon the thought. What is the logic? Shastra says, see, remember that the creation of punyam and papam, that's topic, that's subject. You have to accept Shastra as final. You cannot say that if I do this particular action, I will get punyam. That is not for you to decide. It is Shastra which decides whether a particular action gives punyam or papam. Right? Now, what does Shastra say? The logic is Shastra says Ishvara Dhyanam gives punyam. How do we know? Where does Shastra say that Ishvara Dhyanam gives punyam? Which Gita verse can we think of where this is said?
That Mamekam Sharanam Braj.
There are so many.
Mayeva manatat swamai buddhim niveshaya.
There's so many,
Nivasishrisiyam.
and we all know that we said that karma gives punyam and meditation enhances the punyam, which is why you are able to go to Brahma Loka with karma which is enhanced by upasana. And therefore, the idea is that upasana produces punyam also. Because if karma produces punyam and upasana enhances that punyam, supposing you don't do karma but do only upasana, that Ishvara upasana will produce punyam. That is the logic given by Shastram. So, from there you can derive a corollary that any deliberate thought, because upasana is a deliberate thought, any deliberate thought produces punyam or papam also, depending upon what the thought is. If it is towards Ishvara, obviously produces punyam. If it is about, harming somebody else, it produces papa. Okay. Why am I saying this? Because we have all sort of thoughts. We have deliberate thoughts and we have thoughts which we have not invited, which comes from the character that we have. Right? Can you give an example of such a thought? Something which you have not, deliberately entertained.
Pushing up somebody who's walking on the road and you see a bike coming, pushing that person away.
That's not a non-deliberate thought. That is a very deliberate action.
Okay.
Possibly irritated by someone, you feel that the person should go away from you, or some other thought, then you realize, no, this was not the right thing to do.
Correct. So, the irritation which you feel in your mind when you see somebody or somebody does something, you are not inviting that irritation. It is because of a character, right? Your sattva raja guna mix, it's happening. That's an uninvited thought. So uninvited thoughts do not fall into the definition of deliberate thought. And therefore, uninvited thoughts do not produce punyam or papam unless you change the character of that uninvited thought to deliberate thought. By how? By nourishing that thought. Right? By dwelling on that thought, uninvited thoughts can come. If you just dismiss them, like just now we said, you get irritation, but you don't do anything. You just say, you tell yourself that this is not correct for me to have the irritation, and then you just dismiss the thought. It has no result by way of production of punyam or papam. But if you nourish that thought and say, oh, this fellow, I think I should bash him up. That is changing the character of that uninvited thought to a deliberate thought, and then it will produce adrishta phalam. As far as drishta phalam is concerned, what are the laws which decide it? The drishta phalam of any karma is decided by what law?
Karta eva bhokta.
No.
There are so many. There are 3, 4,
The
which we
drishta
had done in
phalam,
laws.
again I am saying, the drishta phalam of any karma is decided by what?
Intention.
No.
Sankalpa.
Nope.
Physical work only, like what we are doing.
The
That
drishta
karma.
phalam
That.
of any karma is decided by the physical laws of the universe.
Oh.
If you push somebody, as you said, the intention may have been different to save his life. But if you push him, the physical law decides that he will fall, is it not? What law decides a person will fall when you push him?
Physics.
Physics. Law of
Gravity.
physics. But what law decides whether you are going to get punyam or papam?
Karma theory. Law of
Karma theory,
karma.
right? So it is the law of karma which decides the adrishta phalam, the punyam papam, but it is the physical laws of the universe which describe the drishta phalam. This must always remember. That is why we say that there is always drishta, adrishta. Drishta has nothing to do with punyam papam. Drishta is very simply the effect of the physical action. The intention behind that physical action decides whether you get punyam or papam. And who knows the intention? Two people know. What is that? Who are they?
I.
I know. And
The karma
And
phaladata.
Ishvara.
Ishvara knows.
Yeah.
And therefore, karmanam phaladatratvam. Ishvara is the karma phaladata. How do we know? He says, yassaiva shruvate shrutau. Shruti says so, he says. Shruti is the only pramana. And here he is referring to something which we have not done yet. We will do soon. It's in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the 4th chapter. It says, Sava esha mahanajaha atma annado vasudano vindate vasuya evam veda. So vasudanaha means the giver of vasu. Vasudanaha, the one who gives vasu. Primarily vasu means wealth. But there is a lakshyartham. Vasu means karma phalam. And therefore vasudanaha means the giver of karma phalam. So here the second meaning is taken in the mantra. One who gives karma phalam to people. He is the vasudanaha. He is Ishvara who gives. So he is referring to that over here. When he says Shruyate Shrutau, that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad Vakyam is being referred to. And Jivanam Hetu Kartritvam. Hetu Karta is the Samanya Karanam, the Lord. Which is, what does he do? He activates the Prarabdha. The reason why you have a body, a live body, and the reason why you go through so many problems is because of Hetu Karta, the Samanya Karanam. What is the Vishesha Karanam?
Yeah,
Karma.
Karma, okay. But karma is decided by what? By your free will. So free will, Svecha, is the Vishesha Karanam. Why am I saying this? Because Hetu Karta becomes the Karma Phala Data. But the Karma Phalam accrues to the Vishesha Karanam, not to the Samanya Karanam. Why? Because Samanya Karanam is the Lord. And the Lord gives life to everybody. So Phalam cannot accrue to Samanya Karanam. Phalam has to accrue to Vishesha Karanam, which is the free will, which is your karma. Right? So if you take a chess tournament, for example, let us take a chess tournament, world chess tournament. The organizer of the tournament is a Samanya Karanam, the Hetu Karta. But the individual players, they are the Vishesha Karanam. And that is why loss and success and the prizes, they go to whom? They go to the Vishesha Karanam, not to the Samanya Karanam. And so here Ishvara is Samanya Karanam. And what is the pramanam which we have seen for this in Bhagavad Gita? Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhayarchitam ichhati tasya tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyam. 7th chapter, he says, in whichever way people approach me, in that way I give them the fruits of their actions. Tad Brahma iti avadharaya. May you understand that this Hetu Karta is Brahman. May you assimilate that. So with this, we'll stop for today. Any questions?
Chess match is a very beautiful example, Acharya.
Any match.
To think
I
about
use
it. Yeah.
chess because I like chess. Could be cricket.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. Cricket or anything.
Yeah. Okay. So with this, we'll stop for today. Thank you for your patience. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadav Purnamedava Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Om Tat Sat Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you for your patience. Om.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Acharya.
Happy Nidhi Dhyasanam over the weekend.